Okay, so what I want to talk about today is perfect square trinomials. Back when we did multiplying binomials, we had things such as a first term squared, a second term, and it was all being squared. So basically this is the same as saying a plus b times a plus b. And we found that when we multiply those binomials using either the box method or FOIL method, that we always end up getting the first term squared plus 2 times the first term times the second term plus the second term squared, whether or not it was plus or minus. Here's the difference. So what we can do is we can actually use that, because what these are perfect square trinomials. We can use that to help us factor certain types of trinomials. So let's do number 1, for example. Here we have n squared plus 16n plus 64. If you'll notice, it fits this pattern. Okay, we have a first term squared and a second term squared. So what happens when we factor this? We can do this really quickly. We could say, okay, well, an n times an n gives us an n, or an n squared, excuse me. And an 8 times an 8 gives us 64. So this should be n plus 8 squared. And that's all there is to it. Taking a look at the next example, not as easy. We have a 9 in front of our first variable. So in this one, we have to think, okay, what times what gives us 9g squared? Well, that would be 3g. So 3g. Now be careful, this is minus, so this will be a minus. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So 3g minus 2 squared, because it's a perfect square trinomial. Finally, for the last one, remember we're going to have something minus something squared. And I know it's minus because my b value is negative. So 4t squared. What times what gives us 4t squared? Well, that's 2t. And what times what gives us 81? That would be 9. So 2t minus 9 squared. So this is how to factor perfect square trinomials.